Rest in peace. Oh, and we're at credits. All right. I managed to beat the game in 9.5 hours. And I think I mentioned this at the very, very beginning. But I really didn't have high expectations to like this game. The gameplay is just not really my style. And for whatever reason, you know, I decided like it's time to give it a shot. And man, am I happy that I gave it a shot, because I'm actually pleasantly surprised with just how this game plays and actually how integrated the story is as it is. I wasn't expecting, uh, I guess, progress in the dungeons. There was actually some important story segments, which is probably going to influence how I'm going to cut it up and things like that. But I am considerably happy with this game, and it actually makes me excited to continue the series for the franchise playthrough. I'm just, I'm, I'm just happy, I guess. I obviously haven't been able to write down any thoughts for this game because I just beat it in one sitting. But I mean, my overall thoughts for it is basically the game is pretty great. The story is pretty simple. It's basically like a dungeon crawler for the most part. So it definitely makes sense that, you know, the story would be fairly simple. But I think the characters are actually kind of strong. A lot of characters don't get enough screen time. But there's 3 different playthroughs of this game, so there's probably plenty to get familiar and accustomed to all those characters, which is, I guess, kind of nice in of itself. Let me see. As far as gameplay and mechanics, I don't really have very much to say about it. I think the combat is fairly simplistic. The complexities come from like the mechanics of the bosses and the enemies that you're fighting. Because for the most part, you know, all you have is, you know, your auto attacks and then your spells or your abilities or whatever they're called. And so it's not that crazy. But surprisingly, even though it is simplistic, it's still enjoyable. And at least on the easy difficulty, I never really felt like it was a frustrating thing to play. And it makes me really glad that I played it on easy difficulty, because I don't really play games for the challenge. I play them, you know, for the story, the experience, and whatnot. And, you know, I don't want to be bashing my head against the boss for 3 hours. I'd rather just, you know, beat the boss. Like, the best possible scenario is I fight the boss, I die to it 2 times, and then I beat it the 3rd time, and I feel super accomplished at it. And I had a couple of those, and that was really nice. Um, let me see. Trying to remember like all of my thoughts sections. For music and sound and things like that, there wasn't really any voice acting in this game. I'm not going to really count the language that I think is French in the beginning. But some of the music is really, really nice. And a lot of the sound effects are actually really, really nice too. I would also say that the sound design is very responsive to all of the like the button clicks and things like that. It's it gets to the point where you can act like I can hear the actions being taken rather than like see them. You know, I can have audio cues rather than visual cues, and though those type of things are kind of rare in some respects, and so it's just nice to, you know, see that see that in a game, I suppose. As far as dislikes go, uh, I can't think of any immediate dislikes off the top of my head. No cardinal sins either. Um, yeah, for the most part, it's just been a very, very chill game. Nothing really to complain about. I mean, it's just well made, and so if the developers were to be watching, I would say this is a mighty fine game, and I wasn't expecting it to be a mighty fine game, and I'm excited to continue the series. I guess it would just be important for me to say that I really hope that the one game that's not ported does get ported, which is Ys 5, Lost Kefin, Kingdom of Sand. Um, I'd really like to see that ported over, but if it doesn't, then well, I guess we'll stop at 3, or eventually we'll just skip it and come back to it later or whatever. I'm not sure 100% if like all the stories are standalone with just references or something like that. But overall, very happy with this game. Excited to see what comes next. And that's basically it. And me pressing buttons right now is... There we go. Like it's not doing anything. Unica's clear data has been saved. Yunica can now be used in time attack mode. After selecting time attack in the title screen, you may select your character and difficulty level. Toll, who the heck is Toll, can now be used in story mode. He will appear on the game or on the character select screen when starting a new game. Who the sucker fool sucker is Toll? Oh, the claw guy. Fast, close range, experts only. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that guy to be the third character. But anyways, thanks for watching. Appreciate it.